Hey, guys. Welcome to the Weapon Works podcast. I'm Zach. I'm your host. I appreciate you guys coming in here with me. Today, I'm joined by Mr. Graig Davis from Neomag. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Good, Zach. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. For those of you guys that aren't familiar with Neomag, he makes this badass little pocket magnetic clip to hold spare magazines for all you CCW guys. Starting to see them all over the place, man. That's a good thing. That's a good.
That's what I'm going for. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you need to sell billions of those things and keep guys like Thomas and me busy.
No kidding, for sure. Yeah. So it's been fun. Last January, February, I decided I wanted to start working with Cerakote companies, and I was trying to mix it up and work with a different one each month or something, and just do some do some low quantity special edition ones, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoy just getting to meet different people like you and like Tom and Blow Denline and just all these different companies. Just getting to meet those guys and get to know other people in the industry has been just as much a reward as anything.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest things about the podcast is I have an excuse to meet new people.
Definitely.
I get to reach out and talk to guys who normally wouldn't give me the time of day. So I always think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So Neomag, you guys are in Ohio, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yep. We're just outside of Akron.
Okay. So how long has the company been around, dude?
So I came up with the idea April of 2015. It became an LLC, I think like October of 2015.
Okay.
So, where you want to decide to start the beginning of that, I'm not sure exactly. Even myself, I'm not sure when my anniversary date is. I'm still trying to figure that out.
I'm the same way, man. I think my LLC was started on January 1st, but I didn't get my FFL to May, and it's all muddled. I don't know either.
Yeah.
So where'd you get the idea for this one cool ass product that you were going to build this business around?
Yeah. So, I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I came up with this. So, I've been carrying for a few years at that point, and started getting into doing more training. And some of the training that I was getting into, they were talking about carrying backup magazines, and so, it made sense to me, and so I would start carrying an extra mag. I think at that time I was carrying this piece of junk, little Kel-Tec PF9 that would sometimes cycle through a whole magazine. So it was definitely worth carrying an extra. So I would throw that mag in the bottom of my pocket. I hate things in the bottom of my pocket. It drives me absolutely insane. I won't even carry change. So I'm looking at the pocket knife in my right pocket, and I'm thinking, man, it'd be sweet if I could put a pocket clip on this. And so, first thing I did was I started looking around in the industry, see if there was anything that would do that. And there was like one or two things that were okay. But to me, it seemed like there were some issues with the design. So I want to come up with something of my own. So again, I looked at my pocket knife, said, how can I put a clip on this? My background, I'm an engineer. I have an engineering degree, and I was an engineer with a retail display company.
Okay.
For about 15 years. And we would build displays, and we would hold these massive graphics to displays with magnets.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a stack of these rare earth magnets on my desk. And so I was like, I wonder if this will work. So I grab a mag and I grab a magnet and I stick it on my mag, and it works. So I kind of went from there. So I grabbed some sheet metal, bent it up, glued this magnet to the inside of it, and use that for, I don't know, there's a few weeks. And so my mind just keeps turning, how can I make this better? How can I make this for other magazines?
Mm-hmm.
One of my best friends owns a gun shop. So I went over to his gun shop and started measuring magazines. I went through his rental case, went through his whole inventory that he had. And I was measuring magazines and figured out that basically three sizes, three length of bullets will fit all of your popular magazines.
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with doing a bracket, I could be using one in this for those of you guys who are watching the video. So this is what I call the bracket. And that's based on the length of the bullet. So I just started toying with that and coming up with different ways to attach that bracket, and how to just deal with the magnet and the pocket clips and stuff. And honestly, it's gone through quite a few changes and revisions over the years to make it what it is now.
Now is Neomag, is this your full-time job now? This is all you do anymore, right?
Yep. So I went full time with it. Man, what was it? February of 17, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it got to the point where I was working a full-time job and a full-time job with Neomag. I was getting up at 4 a.m, packing orders, building Neomags, going to work, coming home, putting the family, put some family time in, have dinner, put the kids to bed, back in the shop at it until I couldn't stay awake anymore. And I did that for almost 2 years. It's got to the point where my wife and I are like, we can't sustain this. Something's got to give.
Dude, I remember those days, man. Those are miserable, grinded out kind of days.
As miserable as it was also, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It just, putting that time in, because it truly is a labor of love. I loved it. It was snowballing into something that I really had no idea what, again, I had people telling me, I had people in the industry who I didn't know contacting me, telling me what I had, but I still had no idea. And just watching it grow and stuff, I was going to do whatever it took to keep doing it.
Now, when you first had this idea, did you ever fathom that you could create a whole living for your family off of this one invention?
No.
That shit's crazy to me. That is the power of the internet. And it blows my mind how something like that can take off. I mean, granted, it's a fantastic idea and it's a really cool product, but at the end of the day, it's just one product that you came up with, and it's just amazing how something like that could blow up. Did you ever see that coming?
No, I mean, especially not at first, because I honestly, so the first time I kind of went public with it, I had made one, and I posted it on a EDC group in Facebook. I was like, hey, what do you guys think of this? Because I thought, it'd be cool to make these, 10 at a time in my garage and sell them in these EDC groups. It'd be kind of a fun little hobby thing. And this should have been my first hint, and it never turned. It was never that. It went my DMs and everything just exploded. I had 100 orders within a couple of days, so I basically went straight to production of 100 orders of these things, and so that should have been my first hint. But I thought it was just kind of a first boom, and it would kind of taper off after that. But it just kept going up from there.
Going and going.
Yeah, but I had no intention. I had no plans. I'm not a businessman. I'm an engineer, So I had no idea. I had no plans on this.
Yeah, it's funny how it works. I don't know if this is the way you feel about it, but when I first started my business, I fell in love with the work part. Like, I really enjoyed the work. I really loved it. But, somewhere along the line, it just kind of morphed to where I was more gravitated towards the actual business aspect of it.
Right.
Did you ever get that feeling?
I definitely quickly grew into loving the business side of things and trying to figure out how to, how to grow this thing, and really figuring out that this is really about serving people and creating things for people. That was my video gone.
Yeah, something went wrong with your video. I don't think
if we want to pause this real quick, figure that out.
Yeah, we can.
The businessman I didn't think I would ever be. I love just learning about business and learning, just about how to grow a business, and it's been a blast.
Well, just here recently, you started a podcast, and that tells me a couple of things. Most of the time, is that you probably spend a lot of time actually listening to podcasts,
Yeah.
and I imagine they're business focused, right?
Yeah. A lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, for
pretty
sure.
cool, man. How's your podcast going?
I guess it's going pretty good. I think we've only got like 8 episodes, or
Mm,
maybe we just did our ninth or something. Um, and it's so it's me and Jared with TA Targets, or a steel target company.
okay,
Me and Jared actually started talking, but well, back when I first started this as a business, I was trying to reach out and find other businesses
mm,
just to talk to, and um, grow those relationships, and be able to have another business to go to ask questions and stuff. So me and Jared, for the last almost 3 years, have been spend a lot of time on the phone just talking about, hey, what's working, what's not working, how's business and all that sort of thing. And so we decided to kind of start putting that into a podcast, just talk about, both of our businesses are about the same age.
okay.
And so it's kind of just about our journey from being a young growing company and growing from there. Um, so
It's
yeah,
all
it's good. It's also business oriented, and so that's been fun.
it's all conversations you were having anyway, so you just decided to
Yeah.
use it up and put it. Okay, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
We figure if anything, it'd be kind of a journal, something for us to go back to,
Hmm.
and be able to listen to. And so far it's been cool to hear the feedback we've gotten just from other, smaller and younger companies than us, who are, saying thanks for this. And what I'm hoping that'll happen is some more established businesses will reach out, and we can kind of start trying to help each other a little bit more.
You know, what I found since I started this thing is I'm amazed at the established businesses that are willing to do stuff like this. And it's funny, man. When you meet someone that's successful, they're very willing most of the time to share the information with you, as
Yeah.
long as they think that you're going to actually implement the stuff that they're giving you. So yeah, people don't realize how much other business owners talk, but
Yeah.
it's some of my best friends, man. Some of my
Yeah.
best friends, definitely.
Yeah.
So this product, the Neomag, I mean, this isn't something that you call the phone, call China on the phone on Alibaba and have made, right? Everything's made
No.
right there, right?
Yeah. So if you're watching the video behind me, is a CNC machine. I just got that, so we can start bringing even more stuff in house. Um, Now those parts out that were getting made on CNC machines were still made in the U.S. We just wanted to be able to start doing it here, and also start working on some new stuff. And this is going to help us with that. But no, um, uh, in house the pocket clips are titanium, and I have those blanks cut actually at a business about 5-10 minutes from here. So we do all the bending, and tumbling and everything here. There's a back plate on this that's steel. We machine those here now, and the sheet metal brackets. There's a company also in the U.S. that makes those for us, and then we have them black nitrided at H&M, which are about one town over. So I try to use local companies too if I can.
Mhm.
Try to support the even more local than just U.S. I try to support the other local companies.
Yeah, but I remember seeing that jig that you have to bend those clips. That's pretty cool. It's one of those things like you can't turn away. It's like, whoa, this is really cool watching it work.
Well, we'd love for you to come over and bend some clips for us. We've bent tens of thousands of them, so
No, I
one
don't.
at a time.
I don't want to do any of the work. Just make videos and let me see. How about that?
Yeah,
So 2015 to where you are today. I mean, you're making a living. I mean, apparently you guys are successful at this. I mean, you've got a really really nice CNC machine back there. You keep building. I see you hire folks. Like what were some of the struggles to get from, you know, the Graig that was working for someone else with an idea to where you're at now? Like, do you have any like really big struggles that you had a tough time with?
man, that's a great question. And to try to think back, over 3 years and pick stuff out. It's tough. It's, um, just, um, it's a long, slow grind, especially, I've done this very organically. I've not asked anybody else for money. I've not taken any money. I've not gone to a bank to get a loan or anything. I've I mean, it took about 2 years before I could start making money off of this, and it was, every dollar that it came in from selling a Neomag bought more.
Yeah.
And so, it was years of work, of of early mornings or late nights, and trying to make wise decisions on how to spend what little money I had,
Mhm.
and not really start seeing any money come back for a couple of years is tough. It's a lot of work. Um, but in the end, once you start seeing some, start seeing some profits, and you start seeing things continue to grow, and you kind of come through that other side, man, it makes all that hard work worth it.
Yeah, no doubt. Somebody who's just running across your business now, and they're seeing, your high end CNC machine and everything. They're thinking, "Oh, this dude started with money." People don't understand how fucking shitty those first few years are. I mean, it's absolutely miserable. So
It's tough. It's tough, and it, and I get these, these small companies, or even these, some guy will shoot me a message, hey, I've got an idea for a product, or maybe they just got a product made, and they're just starting out, um, and they'll ask me these questions, and a lot of times people want to start where they see this right now, which to me, I'm standing in a 700 square foot shop. I'm not exactly, I have one employee. It's not like I'm this huge, massive success.
yeah,
We're still trying to grow, and and you can't start here, or at least I wouldn't advise. I'm sure you could go to a bank maybe and get a loan for $500,000. I don't know. I've never tried, but and try to start at this point, and that might go well for you, um, but that's just not how I would want to go about it, or how I would suggest doing it.
you're like the instant 3 or 4 year success, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's something that a lot of people don't understand. So are you is your business, is your product, is it treated like gun stuff? Like, will they allow you to advertise on Facebook and Instagram and all that kind of stuff?
Man, speaking of struggles, um, I ran an ad on Facebook for about 2.5 years straight, no problem.
Mhm.
Um, it was doing awesome, and then one day I get an email from Facebook saying your ad has been taken down. It is not acceptable. Blah blah blah. They did that once. I copy and pasted their own rules and about how the Neomag is okay. Basically, their rules say belt accessories and holsters and stuff are okay. I copy and paste it with a little green check mark and everything, and send it back to them. That worked one time. It stayed up for a couple of weeks, and then they took it back down, and
See,
it's not working anymore.
I
So,
just got around to where they're letting me advertise a little bit now. Yeah, what it took is a couple of years of disapproving and then appealing, disapproving and appealing. So at the end, I started writing them back during the appeal. I was like, "Hey, you guys need to help me because I'm not violating your stuff." And
right.
then I kept doing it, kept doing it, kept doing it, and then finally someone reached out and they actually helped me create the ad
Wow.
that that they would approve. So, but now I've got like 3 or 4 ads packaged up that I have to just keep recycling those ads. But
Right.
I'm not having any problems right yet. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed and see. But
Do those ads seem to be working as far as conversions for
uh,
you?
maybe not as far as sales, but definitely as far as brand recognition.
Yeah, and I found that those ads drove a ton of web traffic,
Mhm.
uh, but not a lot of conversions, at least not immediate. Now, you know, one of the things I've learned over the last couple of years is advertising takes time. People got to see things over and over again before they're going to purchase. And so I mean, I'm sure that I'm missing some sales, but honestly, I haven't seen a big dip in sales. I've just seen a big dip in web traffic.
I
So
got you. I got you. Well, I mean, your social media is constantly growing. I mean,
yeah.
yours it what are you up to now on Instagram?
Instagram, I think I'm almost at 56,000, and Facebook's like 6,000 or something like that.
Yeah,
Facebook's harder to grow.
it is. It is. I don't. I think we kind of missed the golden age of Facebook.
Yeah. And I came in right when Instagram was still, you actually posted something. It was actually Instagram.
Yeah.
You would post, people would see it. That's not the case anymore. So I came into Instagram when you could still grow an Instagram and people would actually see what you post.
Yeah, it was the same way. Like it took me forever. Okay, so I went from 0 to like 90,000 in a matter of like a year and a half. And then from 90,000 to 100,000, which I just rolled 100,000
Oh,
just
sweet.
freaking few minutes ago. But it took like 2 years for that 10 grand. I was like, "Oh my
Huh.
goodness, man, so slow. It's crazy."
So what do you think you did? Like, what do you think why do you think you hit that 90 so fast? I'd love to get to 90, but
Well, that was back when the algorithm won't really a factor and everything
right.
in chronological order, and I actually, they put the stuff in front of the people who were actually following me. So, I mean, I might post something with 100,000 followers. I might be getting 10 to 15% impressions. Nobody sees it. So, it's
Yeah.
it's it's one of those things, man. I,
Yeah.
as it's a love-hate relationship. I hate
Uh,
social
it,
media, but I love it. So
for sure. And honestly, fa- uh, Instagram is still one of our biggest, well, it's our biggest social media um, outlet as far as getting traffic and conversions.
mhm.
Instagram is still, you know, I've spent over 3 years on there. I love, I've got to know so many, customers that I'm now friends with, and other people in the industry that I've met that I'm friends with and stuff. It's been an amazing place for me and for the business. And honestly, I don't know if our business would be where it is without it.
I know I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. And I'll tell you something else I just learned here recently. So for my social media, I use this app called Later.
Okay.
Okay, so I can sit down and I can create social media posts for a whole week, in about 15, 20 minutes on. So all I have to do during the day is handle my stories and do the live stuff.
Right.
So, but this app, it automatically pushes it to Instagram, to Facebook, to Twitter, and to Pinterest. Well, I
Okay.
started a Pinterest account. I was like, screw it. I'll put
Mhm.
it out there. I checked my Pinterest account. It was just a few weeks ago. 250,000 impressions in the
Jeez.
past 30 days. And you can get on Google Analytics and actually see that about a quarter of the traffic to my website has been from Pinterest
Yeah.
because you can link every photo. It
Yeah.
blew my mind. I had no clue. I thought it was, soccer moms and arts and crafts.
Sure. And I've got a Pinterest too. I can't think of the last time I posted on there. It's something that I know is viable and
Mhm.
is important even. Um, and honest, I gotta be honest, the only reason posts get to Facebook is because Instagram has the little thing you turn on where it'll automatically post to Facebook. I probably won't even be going to Facebook and posting stuff in there because I get like 25 likes and maybe a couple comments on a post, whereas Instagram, I'll get 1,000 and a bunch of comments. So it's yeah, and I thought about looking at it later. And I think I've even heard you talk about it.
Yeah.
Um, one of my concerns is, which it must not be a problem. I thought that like the Instagram algorithm could tell if you were using a program like that and could hurt
It
your views and stuff.
I've actually seen increases. Now
Huh.
I know that Later is the only one approved or was supposedly approved by the Facebook engineers. So,
Okay.
I mean, I haven't seen anything drag me down from that. If anything, it's increased it.
Yeah,
And
I need to try it then.
I mean, all Later is like that little Facebook share button on Instagram on steroids. So
Right.
it'll just spread it out to other places. So,
Yeah.
hey, it's worth a shot, man.
Absolutely.
It kind of blew my mind.
Well, the nice thing about Pinterest is they're the most open source of social media. They don't really ban anything or take stuff down. They're openly pro as long as it's legal and it's something that people like or whatever, then they're okay with it. So I actually I wish that it would become more mainstream within our industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, hell, I don't know. I like having my little section carved out where there's not. But you'd
Yeah.
be amazed at how much of your stuff is already on there too.
Yeah.
Like I was just scrolling. You type in Cerakote, just scroll through, and I'm like, holy shit, that's mine. That's mine. That's mine.
Yeah.
It's 4 or 5 companies that you see their work everywhere on Pinterest, and it kind of blew my mind. I was like, yep, I'll pin that, pin that, pin that. Felt like a 40-year-old soccer mom in my minivan,
Yeah.
sitting there playing with Pinterest.
Yeah.
So, so what have you screwed up, man? What
Oh man.
what would you say your biggest mistakes from start to where you are now have been?
Biggest mistakes. I make it. Me and Jerry were just talking about this on the podcast. I think it's having a business. All it is decisions. Like everything, all day long is do I do this? Do I not do this? Do I spend money here? Do I not spend money here? I mean, I've made just this year. I've made some advertising mistakes where I literally just handed over money
Yep.
and got nothing from it. But you have to be willing to take those chances, or you're not gonna know if it's viable or not without taking those chances. And I feel like that's also something that as a business owner you have to be willing to do
Yeah.
is take chances. If I didn't take a chance, I wouldn't be doing this right now.
Mhm.
But it's fun. I mean, I guess that's the first thing I think of is just I've handed over more money than I would have liked to this year. And advertising I was hoping would pan out.
Yeah, so
Um,
those calculated risks though, and there's
yeah,
there's no other way to grow, and it's you've either got to take the leap or sit back and enjoy a normal life,
yeah,
your 9 to 5 kind of thing. So
yeah. And I think I've been kind of preparing myself to start making more mistakes now that I'm starting to come up with some more ideas and some more uh, what I hope to be products. I mean, I've got a bin full of products that really to me just weren't anything, or it's not going to be anything. I spent a lot of time and money on those things, and I mean, the one product I spent a year on, and I just look at it and I'm like, I'm not sure this is gonna work out. So, uh, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of time and money that you could potentially lose.
yeah, no doubt, no
Yeah.
doubt. So you know, with the with that CNC machine, this is something I'm always curious about. Did you have any kind of CNC experience, any kind of programming experience, or anything like that?
Yeah.
What what's the learning curve been like on that?
So I do have to say, I think having an engineering background and knowing how to 3D model,
Mhm.
it if I had to start from scratch, not even knowing how to 3D model, man, it would be a big learning curve.
Okay.
Um, I had already been using Fusion 360. I've got a background with SolidWorks um, and Inventor. A long time ago, good old 2D AutoCAD. Um, so when I started working full time for myself, I couldn't afford SolidWorks, so I went to Fusion. And the cool thing about Fusion 360, it's got CAM built into it.
Okay.
So I had already spent the last couple of years modeling up my ideas. I've got a 3D printer. Um, so I'd already been modeling these things, and I'd already even made some uh, solid prototypes on the 3D printer. So um, I just really kind of had to learn the CAM side of things.
Mhm.
Um, and I think just since I already kind of know how the software works and everything, it was pretty easy for me to pick that up. Watched a lot of YouTube videos. I went to a couple Haas classes, and I just I immersed myself in everything machining and just trying to learn everything there is to learn. I mean, speaking of mistakes, I've broken a lot of end mills and stuff in that thing.
They're not cheap
So
either, are they?
no, they're not cheap. They're not crazy expensive either. Uh, I'm more concerned about crashing and damaging the machine than I am an end mill.
Yeah.
But I knew that there was going to be some learning curve and there was going to be some broken stuff in there. I just try to be smart and take my time with it, and try to break the cheap stuff.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the Haas, I mean, that's a risk. That's a
Yeah,
risk. Yeah, I mean, it's like buying a race car, not knowing if you can drive with the big boys kind of thing.
dude, you have no idea. I mean, I bought this thing, and I'm sitting here waiting for it to show up, and I'm like, well, what do I do when it gets here? I, I've never I've never even started one up before. I never hit cycle start on the thing before. I never bolted down, vices before. So, you know, yeah. I mean, I bought something that is the most, besides a house, is the most money I've spent on something, and had never used one before. That was absolutely kind of a scary moment, but
I wonder if there's a CNC for dummy books.
I'm sure there is.
I love me some dummy books, dude.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
use it. That's how I learned about taxes, about LLCs, about all kinds of shit, man.
yeah. No kidding.
So, dude, where do you see the business in 5 or 10 years?
Um, I mean, I've got goals. I, I would love to. I would love to have a couple more of these CNCs. I would love to have a couple people running them for me. Um, I would love to. I would love to be able to. I'd love to be able to pay somebody to do the stuff that I hate doing, which is
Mhm.
dealing with the books and and the finance side. The money side of things. Honestly, I hate dealing with the money side of things. I just want to make stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to sit on my computer, play with a CNC machine, play with the anodizing stuff. I don't know. I like using my hands. I like making stuff.
Mhm.
Um, so I would love to be in a bigger building and be able to hire some more people. I don't want. I have no intention on being, um, some 100 employee big place. I definitely don't want that. I've always worked for small businesses, and I love small business. But I would definitely like to be a little bit bigger than where we're at. I would like to continue to come up with products that um, streamline and help people with their everyday carry type of stuff.
Mhm.
Um, be you know yeah, just try to come up with ways um, to come up with things that people are like, man, why couldn't I think of that? That's the stuff that I love.
Well, I mean, that kind of shit can be done. I mean, you look at guys Key Bar.
Yeah.
That dude's a freak, man. He took that one little invention, and now he's making all kinds of little gizmos and gadgets, and he's got this big nice building and then
And,
machines everywhere. I'm like, that's so impressive to me.
yeah. And when you ask me that question, the first thing I see is Mike's business. And I've told Mike this before years ago.
Okay.
I said, Mike, at least what I see from you guys doing, and the capabilities you have and the stuff that you're doing, um, that's kind of my goal. I think he's, I don't know, maybe a 6 or so employee, a couple thousand square foot type building, but that's kind of my goal. I love what he does, and he thinks of stuff, and they just make it and throw it on the website and sell it and do it again the next day. And so that stuff just kind of pumps me up, and that's what I would love to be to get to.
He's a cool cat too.
Yeah.
Here's my little Key Bar story. A couple years back, do you know the Key Smart? Those
Mm-hmm.
people. Well, they make something very similar to the Key Bar. Well, they sent me a couple of free Key Smarts, and I was like, "Ah, that's pretty cool." And so I posted it on my social media, and I had probably 400 comments of people just blasting me for putting this thing that they give me for promotion out there, talking about how they copied Mike and I'm an asshole for supporting them and all of this. So Mike chimes in. He's like, "Hey, dude," he said, "don't worry about all those guys." He said, "Go pick out something for my website. I want to send you one of mine." And dude sent me a $140 complete titanium key bar for nothing, just because people were giving me shit for supporting the other company. I was
Yeah.
like, that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I need to reach out to him to get him on this podcast. I think it'd
That
be
was,
a
yeah,
fun
that'd be awesome. I had actually, when he first came out with the key bar, um, I kind of found out about it just from kind of the EDC groups and stuff. And
Mhm.
I was listening to a podcast. I can't even think of what it's called anymore. Um, and I think Mike was still working for his day job at the time. And and I remember that podcast. I just remember them talking to Mike when he was, I think he's still in his garage or something doing it.
Mhm.
I think I bought one of those first key bars, and so just seeing his journey and seeing where he's at now and stuff. That's I mean, that's kind of, I get to live some of that,
Mhm.
and we're continuing how to press on towards that goal.
Well, dude, stuff like his story. I mean, stuff like your story. I mean, starting from an idea and just making it. That shit gets me fired up. I love it. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. I've become addicted to it.
Yeah, for sure. And every time I talk to somebody who, who just quit their day job and starts working for themselves, man, that
Mhm.
fires me up. I get so excited. I actually, man, I just start shaking. I get a big grin on my face just because I know how exciting that is. And that's just for somebody to be able to, who has taken those chances and has worked that hard and got to that point, man, they deserve that. And it's
E-
awesome.
Exciting and scary all at the same time, man.
Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
man, I'll never forget those feelings. I'll never
Yeah.
forget them. But that shit kind of drives me these days. So
Yeah.
what you got anything new coming out, or you just rocking a shit ton more I was about to say key bar, a shit ton more Neo mags this year, or
um, so I actually have a new product coming out in 4 days. January 1st is my next product. I am super excited to have something else come up. It's the first thing that's coming off the CNC machine. Um, uh, yeah, I'm not going to say a whole lot more. Oh, I will say it's for revolvers. I've released about that much on my social media and stuff. So, but January 1st is when it's going to come out. I plan on doing like a YouTube live reveal type of thing,
Mhm.
about Eastern Standard on New Year's Day. Um,
Very cool.
I'm super excited just to have something else because have a couple other ideas that I'm probably even more excited to get to, but I just need to kind of get this out and get this going.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, no, I'm super excited to I I'm extremely blessed. I'm extremely thankful to where things have gotten off of one product. I
Mhm.
think um, it's frankly it's amazing, and it's again, yeah, I'm super thankful for it. But at the same time, I want to have I don't know more. I want to keep pushing
All
and keep coming up with more stuff.
there's no other attitude to have if you're running a business. You always want more, 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 more. And every little step that I reach, I talk to my wife about this all the time. I'm like, I don't know, it didn't make me as happy as I thought it would. I said, I need to get more. I need to get more. I need to go again. And that kind of
Yeah. And it's not even about money. I really don't care to make any more than I make right now. I'm happy with what I have. I love making new things. I love um, helping people out. Seeing every time I get an email from somebody or a message on Facebook or Instagram, thanking me for making this thing that's helped them and changed how they carry and stuff like that. That stuff, like that's what drives me. That just gets me pumped up.
I mean, you've got some pretty damn legitimate guys repping your stuff. I know I've seen Pat McNamara talk about it, and
Mm.
that fucking dude knows what he's doing, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, and that was kind of a cool story. I have a friend who was at an event with him. I think he had my Gen 1 Neomag, and just gave it to Pat Mac. And afterwards, my buddy called me. He was like, "Hey, just so I want you to know, Pat McNamara has, uh, has one of your Neomags." I'm not even sure I totally knew who he was at that point either. Honestly, it was probably a year later. I'm like, you know what? I think I remember somebody telling me Pat McNamara has one. So I reached out. I sent him an email, and in typical Pat fashion, I think I got an email back with, "Yep, got one, love it." I think that was it. Um, and but yeah, super cool dude. We went out there this past summer and went out to his stomping ground and did some shooting with him and stuff. And yeah, he's an awesome guy.
Well, if you come visit him again, man, you have to come up to my shop. I'm right down the road. I'm not far from him.
Yeah, no, and the next time that we go down there, which I'm hoping is next time. Yeah, like I know you're down there. There's a couple other guys who I would love to kind of make like a week trip with it and do some other stops and
Well,
catch up with some guys.
I got a bed if you need a bed anytime, dude. Anytime.
Awesome. I think I saw there's a couch in your shop there. I'm fine there too.
No, that's been removed. It's been turned into a podcast studio.
Oh, nice.
So, dude, how old are you?
I turned 37 in February.
37. Okay, I just turned 38. So we're
Okay.
right on the same kind of plane. If you could go back and tell 18, 19-year-old Graig something, what would you tell him?
I was kind of just thinking about this the other day and just I think I would just tell myself, keep doing what you think you need to do for yourself. Don't listen to other people telling you what they think you need to be doing.
Nice.
I truly believe that this business and this product and I'm doing what I'm doing has happened because of even decisions that I made back in high school where I wanted to be an engineer. And just each of those steps that I made because it's what I wanted to do, because I had a passion for it. I went, I picked the school that I wanted to go to and not what everyone else around me, said that I should have gone to and this and that. I think just chasing what excites me and what I do well has got me here. So I guess that's what I tell myself.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. Because I mean, if you listen to other folks, man, you'd still be working a 9 to 5, dude.
Yeah.
I know I would be. Everybody thought I was absolutely insane. I'm like, what do you mean you're going to quit your job? That's crazy. No, man. I was just best decision I ever made, and I'm sure you feel the same way.
Absolutely, and I'm super thankful that I had those jobs and I had that experience. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with going to work for that company that you work for. If that's what you do best, then go to that job and do that job the best you can.
If it satisfies you and it fulfills you. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. And there's people that are doing that and they're successful and they're making lots of money and they're happy and stuff. That's awesome. But for those if you're listening and you've got this drive to do something else and do something more with yourself, stop saying maybe and start doing it.
Yeah. Nice. That's beautiful. Yeah. That's beautiful. You're a poet.
Oh, thanks.
So dude, tell my people on YouTube and my people on the podcast, how can we get in touch with you?
So our website is theneomag.com, neomag.com. Our Instagram is the Neomag. Facebook is the Neomag. I try to keep that pretty streamlined, so it's all the same. You can get a hold of me pretty much any time of the day through any of those ways. I'm always on Instagram. So yeah,
dude, thank you so much for coming on here with me. I really appreciate it. I know you're busy, and I just can't tell you what it means to me. I really do appreciate you doing this with me.
I appreciate doing it, and frankly, I love your podcast. I've learned so much from listening to some of the other guys that have been on your podcast. I know And I know about half of them, and the other half I want to know.
Mhm.
I'm hoping to track them down at SHOT Show and shake their hand.
Well, I'll make
Um,
intros if you need it, dude. I'll
yeah,
make
that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna find you because it seems like you know everybody. So
I like being the guy who can connect different folks, man.
sure.
It,
Yeah.
it gives me a charge. I don't know. I like it. So,
Yeah.
but look, guys, thank you for coming on here, giving us a little bit of your time here, at Weapon Works Podcast. I really appreciate everybody. If you're on YouTube, give me a like, hit subscribe. You know, if you're listening to it on iTunes, you know, reviews are greatly appreciated, guys. I really appreciate it. Graig, once again, dude, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, and I want everybody to have a good day, and we'll see you guys later.
Yep. See you guys.